Alright, hey guys. So, I've been wanting to film this entire week, but I haven't had the energy, to be honest. My dog's right here too. Say hello, Jazzy. Mostly because, like, I have no control over what I look like right now. I have no control over, like, whether I can shower or whether I can, you know. I mean, I have the control, but how do you say, with a broken ankle, it's a little hard. As we can tell, we have a little elevation in the nation. But anyway, I've been wanting to film because I want to explain what happened to me. This is day 2 weeks and what has it been? It's been 2 weeks and 5 days since my accident, since my injury, and let's dive into talking about it. So roller skating, okay, how did I get into it? Back in March, my cousin Alyssa, shout out to Alyssa, loved roller skating, and like her and her friends would do it often, I guess, and I was just like, yo, like, you guys are into this? Like, that's cool. I wasn't really into it in the beginning. Like, I went to the park once with her and like watched her do it, and I was like, oh, that's so fun, good for you guys, you know? Eventually, I ended up getting blades, roller blades, because I've had those before. I had them when I was like 12. So anyway, after getting some blades, eventually skating with her at that same park, it's a normal flat, kind of, it's a little hilly park, but you know, it'll do. Nothing too crazy. I ended up rollerblading, she would roller skate, and we would just get it, you know? And then we ended up beach skating, and we ended up eventually going to rinks and, you know, moving on to roller rinks and stuff like that, and that was so much fun too. And then we'd learn little jumps on the floor, little 180s at the roller rink, going to the music and like stuff like that. So that was fun. So we're talking probably about June, July-ish, I started going to the skate park and eventually started doing some, you know, learning to go up ramps, just trying different things, just, you know, dabbling in the art of roller skating at skate parks a little bit. So that took some time. I didn't do it often at all during the summer. I probably did it twice, and I'll insert some clips here of what that looked like in the beginning and a little bit of the journey. So fast forward, in September, I was at the skate park and I injured my right ankle. And that was thankfully very, very, very minor. I was just standing on my skates going to get water, and I twisted my ankle. And it was luckily just a light sprain. My tendons were a little sore. So other than that, like, you know, I probably spent like 5 days, no, I'm lying. I spent like a week and a half to 2 weeks off skates. After going back to the skate park after my birthday is when I started to really drill and go ham on like skate park skating. I wanted to learn everything there was to know, from like 180ing off the coping to stalling to back stalling to, you know, 180 fakie to then leading to now, to November 18, 2021, I learned to do 360s on the ramp. Earlier that week, I'd asked a friend, shout out to Liz, who kills those 360s. I was like, yo, how do you do those? Like, I really want to learn. And so I started watching and started like really analyzing. That's the way I was as a roller skater. And I say was because I probably will not be park skating ever again like that, which is really sad. By choice. I'm not sitting here like, oh, sob story. I can't do it. I can, it's just the risk to me is not worth it, considering my career is mostly focused in music and I'm not here to be a professional roller skater. But anyway, shout out to Liz. She taught me kind of how to do it, mostly by showing me over and over, and I would watch her and be like, okay, I see. How would I translate this? Because we also have different leading foots. 2 days later, like I said, November 18th comes and bam, I learned the 360s, and I'll place those clips right here. Keep in mind, this bowl is very straight across. This half pipe is straight, pretty straight, okay? No tricks or anything to it. It's just straight across, so it's easier to do than Mariposa Park. It's easier than Mariposa Park because at Mariposa it's a little bit more open. Like, instead of being straight across like this, it like opens up a little bit. So it's, I don't know, you'll have to see. I'll insert a clip. But anyway, the night of November 19th, 2021, there was a skate event at Mariposa, and me and my friends were gonna go. We started skating to warm up a little bit there. I dropped in a little bit, you know, just kind of warming up into it. As the day progresses, as the night progresses, I should say, I end up doing the 360 there. And the first like 4 times I did it, it felt good. Then afterward, I remember like feeling kind of tired already that day, but I was like, it's fine. I had skated all week and my body was really like weak. But your body always knows. I'm telling you guys, this is the #1 piece of advice. No matter what you're doing in life, listen to your body. Listen to your body, okay? My body was telling me that I was tired and I was still like, nah, I got this. I could push through. So after a while, like probably the 10th time, maybe 9th time I do the 360, I start to feel my body kind of jerk a little bit to the left, almost as if I was over rotating, but I wasn't. I think it was just the way like the wall, the ramp was not straight across. I usually would just boom, like, you know, the ramp was straight. This is really hard to explain with my hands. They don't do that, but. So when I come back and I do that 360, I realize like, oh my God, it feels like I'm not quite landing right. It's fine. I get out of the bowl. It's probably about 8:30 at this point, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really over this, really tired. I even tell Keelia, I pull her aside and I'm like, hey, honestly, like, it's really crowded here. There's a lot of skaters. It's awesome. I was like, but I'm kind of scared. I don't want to get injured. Like, I don't want to run into anybody. There's a lot of skateboarders too. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? So I sit out for like 30 minutes and I'm just like eating chips on my phone. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not really down. I'm really tired. And then our friend Liz gets there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like Liz is here. She literally is the one who showed me these 360s. So I wasn't gonna drop in at all. But then like I told Kat, I was like, hey, like, do you wanna do one more time of doubles? We both drop in and do our thing. I go up to stall. When I stall, come back fakie. When I go for the 360, I feel my body, first of all, I didn't use my toe stop on the way back. Usually always use the toe stop on the way back to slow me down a little so I have a little bit more control. This time, I think in my head, I wasn't even, usually I imagine the line first. I imagine the line and I'm like, okay, now I know what to do. It's like checkpoints in my brain. Boom, 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 done, get out. And I'm like, ooh, I did that. This time it was like, oh my God, there's so many skaters here. Like, I hope I don't f this up, but let's just drop in and try it. Brain is not focused. No. Alert. Alert. You know, abort fucking mission. I drop in, I stall. When I go for that 360, unfortunately, I flew up, lost control, and I felt myself go for the rotation anyway. And I did not use my shoulders or hips to help me in that. And it also felt like maybe, I almost want to say like, maybe when I went up, I have no idea what happened, you guys. I swear in my brain, like that part is just blank because I don't know. I really don't know. Did I maybe use my shoulders and hips too much and not my feet enough? Or did I rotate my feet too much? Or I don't know. I have no idea. But I landed and I felt my leg just crack. And I was like, it's sideways. Like my leg, I will insert a picture when I got to the hospital, my leg was laying straight and my foot was hanging left, okay? So at this point, I'm looking down and my skate is on and I'm looking up at everybody and they're starting to look at me and I'm sitting in the bowl like, you guys, like help, like it's broken, for sure. Like this is broken, like my foot is hanging, for sure. Somebody help. Shout out to Daniel Robles because I didn't even know him. He jumped in that bowl like no tomorrow. A bunch of other people too that I don't know their names. I didn't get to know them. I'm so sorry, but like you guys, bless you guys because I could not have done this without you guys. Daniel comes in and he's talking to me. Hey, you know, yes, it does look broken. You know, just accept that for a second. I know there's a lot going on, but hey, the best thing you can do is stay calm. He was keeping my mind at ease. I was like, you're right. I'm just going to accept it's broken. I need to call my mom. Somebody get my phone. Shout out to Keelia. Keelia ran up there, grabbed my phone, came back in, gave it to me. And I'm just like, hello, like mom, you know, I'm telling her what's going on. I did not want to end up in a hospital that far away from home. I was about 35-40 minutes from home. So I was like, you know what? Let's get back by my house and let's get to that hospital. Thank God. Okay, so Kat and Keelia drove me. Kat drove me. Keelia was keeping me calm in the back. And Daniel and that whole group of probably 5-6 people picked me up and carried me out of that bowl and took me to the car. Like, what the f? How does that? I don't know. They did that. So anyway, hold on, my camera's about to die. We're gonna switch out the battery. All right, y'all, so sorry about that. It's been about 3 hours. My camera died and all my batteries were dead. So love that for me. Where was I? Oh yeah, so Daniel and all of the people that helped carry me to the bowl got me to the car. We ended up getting to the hospital. My parents ended up meeting us there, thankfully. I ended up sitting in the waiting room by myself for about 2 hours, just holding my leg with no pain pills or anything. I was holding my thigh, like underneath my thigh, just like cradling my leg as my fucking foot just hangs and it's like leaning in a wheelchair. Blah. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. It looked so scary, like a horror movie, just like, ugh. Anyway, so then I end up getting into the hospital. After an hour and a half of waiting, they took my weight, had me stand up on one leg, which was like really weird. They were like, can you stand on your good leg? I'm like, you know, I've been waiting forever. So then finally, they take me back out to the waiting room, wait another hour, so that was 2 hours in total. They bring me back and I end up going to get my x-ray done, which was a fucking bitch, honestly. So I get in and the x-ray guy actually gets me on the table. He realizes how bad the injury actually is, that my ankle's looking not right, not like an ankle, not like a leg, for sure. So he's like, okay, after we do the x-rays, he's like, okay, they want me to put you back in the waiting room, but I don't think you should do that. He's like, I'm gonna have you wait here and we're gonna get you a room now. I was like, thank you. Somebody who finally sees the urgency, because when I was sitting in the waiting room, I felt like invisible. It was like one of the worst, scariest feelings ever. Like everyone around me was just like I wasn't there. Like I was literally yelling, just like, like this hurts. Nobody's doing anything. They come up to me too with the pen at one point and I'm screaming and they're just like, we need you to fill out this paperwork. Okay. I'm like, that was the worst. Thank God I'm done with that. Anyway, I get back into the room. The nurse comes in, just tells me, yeah, you badly broke this. This is really bad, like super bad. And I'm like freaking the fuck out. So, she ends up telling me that, which is not something you should tell somebody with anxiety like me, because my mind raced. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna cut my foot off or something. Like I already know, like it's that bad, like dead ass. I know you guys are laughing right now, but like seriously, that's what I thought. In my head, I was preparing myself mentally. I was like, you know what? Like for the worst, I'm not gonna have a leg anymore. I was like, I'm not gonna have a foot. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Like, no one should ever have to go through that thought process, first of all. That's terrifying. They end up bringing all of these, I think like 10 different types of, not doctors, but nurses and specialists to come in, and they needed to crack my leg back in place. So the diagnosis was I fractured my leg in 3 places. 2 of the places were fragmented, so meaning they were in little pieces of bone, and then it was dislocated as well. I'm gonna find a way to insert my x-rays right here. As you can tell, this x-ray picture, you can tell the dislocation, it's completely separated from the foot. And then the other one, this is a forward view, and you can see all the little fragments and cracks. So not fun. Also, you can tell the ankle is very fat. So yeah, immediately they had to put me in what they call a twilight sleep. Ended up cracking my like leg back into place, which I think is why I had so much bruising underneath this cast now, because that's really what happened. I was in a splint after that. Then they took me upstairs into an actual official room outside of the ER now, and this is where everybody became really, really, really nice and really caring, and I no longer felt invisible. I felt seen, and I was like, okay, good. Like the ER was scary, but once we got upstairs, no longer ER and into the official hospital, everything was fine. Then they tell me I need surgery. They tell me that they are gonna need to surgically put a metal plate and screws into my leg. So that's what happened. I got a metal plate and I got 2 screws put into my leg to keep it together. So yeah, but the doctor, thankfully I had one of the best surgeons there in the building. Dr. Lou, shout out to you. Thank you so much for doing such an amazing job with my surgery. He said everything, once he put the metal plate and the screws in, everything kind of pieced back together perfectly. There was a few little fracture moments that he couldn't quite get to, or could, but he would have had to make more incisions and just complicate the surgery overall. So he decided, not we, my ass was out, dead ass, cold, asleep. He decided that those would heal naturally on their own, so that's what we did. He left those in place. Once everything was done, they sealed it up with a splint and some staples, of course. The incision that was made, which is on the outer side, back side of my leg, calf, ankle. So from there, I just was brought back up to the room and I was on some good pain meds. By good, I don't mean so good. I, at one point, was like, I see Pennywise morphing into like Fiona from Shrek. Like, this is all when my eyes are closed and I'm about to fall asleep. Like, I don't think about that shit, you know what I'm saying? It was just funny that like that popped into my head. I spent 2.5 days in the hospital after that. Injury that happened on Friday night. Friday night around like 10 o'clock, I end up in the hospital. Saturday morning around 3 a.m. they do the whole snapping the dislocation back into the location. By Saturday at 9:30 a.m. I went into surgery. Saturday at around noon, I was in the room. Saturday about 3, my mom shows up and Gianna, my sister. The next day, I just stayed there another day, and then I got released at 6 p.m. on Sunday. So it was actually not 2.5 days. It was actually a little less than 2 days. So that's good. From then on, it was just about healing. The next 2 weeks were very crucial. It was me laying in bed, moving to the couch by wheelchair with my family. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Gianna. Thank you, Michael, for helping me and supporting me through that, because it was such a tough time. That was literally, those 2 weeks were like the darkest, worst times of my life. I feel like the first 5 days of being out of the hospital, I was very drugged still, and I still was on the pain meds every 4 hours, so I didn't really take in like exactly what happened, you know? I took it in, but it felt like a shock still. Took me that long to like finally, by the first week later, it hit like, oh my gosh, this really happened. Oh my gosh, how long am I gonna be able to do this? Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to walk. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I just started freaking out. If you're watching this and you're going through an injury, just know that that's all normal. Because now look at me, I'm on the other side, like not even a week and a half later from that, and I feel a lot better. I went in last week on Thursday. This was 2 weeks post-op, and I got my splint removed. They took another x-ray. Everything was looking great, healing perfectly, and they ended up putting me in a full cast, which I showed you guys earlier. So this full cast will be on until December 30th, which they had originally told me 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm grateful for that. I'm healing up quickly. Also, I'm very young, so thankful for that. I'm only 24, so they said that was gonna work in my favor. So yeah. That's what happened. And from then, on December 30th, I get a walking boot and I will learn to walk again. But yeah, overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was basically the spiel of my ankle injury from roller skating at the skate park. Yeah, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really weird, tough to make. Not really tough, but I guess just weird, sad to make. That's what it is. I'm sad that I have to make a video like this, but I'm also hopeful in the sense that like I could provide you guys with some kind of clarity, because the entire time I was laying in bed for those first crucial 2 weeks, I was literally just like Googling, broke my ankle, how long did it take me? And I saw horror stories of people's like scars, and just, don't do that to yourself. Don't Google. It was not fun. It was very scary for me, and I think it added like a million weights to my anxiety, so let's not do that. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Like I said, like and subscribe so that you'll be here for the next one. Editing videos and posting is giving me life. It's making time fly, and I love being authentic and real with you guys. So yeah, this was my roller skating injury journey. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.